Let's cook up a fresh origin story for the Queen, rooted in the gritty energy of 1970s New York City. Yo, check it, back in the 70s, New York was a whole other beast. The city was a pressure cooker of raw talent and struggle. Where disco was just starting to get its groove on, punk rock was brewing in the Bowery, and the streets had this whole rhythm of their own. In the heart of the Bronx, not far from where the Black Spades and the Ghetto Brothers were holding it down, lived a young woman named Lyra. She didn't run with gangs, but she had that same fire in her soul, that same refusal to be silenced. Lyra was a poet, see? She'd spit rhymes on street corners, her words hitting hard against the backdrop of the city's chaos. Her flow wasn't just words, it was raw energy, a dark and vibrant force that pulsed with the city's heartbeat. One night, while performing in a dingy club in the Lower East Side, she caught the attention of a mysterious figure. This cat offered her a gift. An ancient amulet said, to amplify the power of the voice, to bend reality with the sheer force of sound. Lyra, hungry for a way to make her voice truly heard, took the amulet. But the power came with a price. The dark energy of the amulet merged with her own flow, transforming her into something more than human. She became Lyricannon, the Queen of Flow. Her voice was no longer just a voice. It was a weapon, a force of nature that could shatter concrete and warp minds. The streets that had birthed her now trembled before her power. Lyricannon ain't about being a hero or a villain. She's a product of her city, a force of raw, untamed energy unleashed upon a world that ain't ready for. Picture this. The year is 1975. New York City still got that raw energy, but things are shifting. Disco's taking over the clubs, graffiti's popping up on the subway cars, and the streets are telling new stories. Lyricannon's holding court in an abandoned disco in Brooklyn. The bass still thumps through the walls, but now it's her flow that controls the rhythm. She's built a crew, see? Not a gang, but a posse of artists, poets, and musicians, all drawn to her power. They call themselves the Sonic Syndicate, and they're using Lyricannon's flow to amplify their voices, to bend the city to their will. Graffiti ain't just tags anymore, it's becoming moving murals, telling stories that warp reality. Poets ain't just spitting rhymes, they're weaving illusions, making folks see what ain't there. And the music? It's a force of nature, changing moods, controlling crowds, making the whole damn city dance to Lyricannon's tune. But power attracts attention, right? The Black Spades, still holding down the Bronx, they see Lyricannon as a threat. They ain't scared of her flow, they see it as something to be controlled, another piece of the city to conquer. And then there's this shadowy figure, see? They call him the Maestro. He's got his own crew, the Shadow Symphony, and they're moving in the dark, manipulating the flow, trying to use Lyricannon's power for their own twisted ends. So you got this clash of forces. Lyricannon and her Sonic Syndicate using the flow to create and control, the Black Spades trying to muscle in and dominate, and the Maestro playing a deeper game, looking to reshape the very fabric of the city. New York in 75. It ain't just a city anymore. It's a battleground for the flow, and Lyricannon's right in the center of it all. Lyricannon's main thing is her voice, amplified by that amulet. Sonic force. She can unleash blasts of pure sound, shattering objects, and knocking folks off their feet. It ain't just about being loud, it's about the precision, the control. She can target specific frequencies, making people feel fear, confusion, or even euphoria. Reality warping? This is where it gets freaky. Lyricannon can use her flow to bend reality, creating illusions, making things appear or disappear, even twisting the layout of a place. It's like she's remixing the world around her, and you never know what's real and what ain't. Flow control. She can manipulate the flow of energy in others, amplifying their talents or corrupting them. This is how she empowers her syndicate, but it's also a dangerous ability, as it can be used to control minds. Personality. Lyricannon's a complex one. She's got that Brooklyn attitude, direct, tough, and ain't afraid to speak her mind. But there's also a deep passion in her, a hunger for her voice to be heard, for her crew to be seen. She's fiercely loyal to the syndicate, but she can also be ruthless when she needs to be, especially when it comes to protecting her power. The Sonic Syndicate. This ain't your typical crew. It's a mix of different talents, all amplified by Lyricannon's flow. The Graph Master, Raze. This dude can make art that warps reality. His murals ain't just paint on a wall. They can move, change, and even affect the environment. Imagine a tag that can trap someone in an illusion, or a piece that can heal a wound. Looks young, energetic, always covered in paint with a mask to hide his identity. Power, reality-bending graffiti. The Poet, Whisper. Whisper's words ain't just rhymes, they're spells. She can weave illusions, manipulate emotions, and even alter memories with her flow. She's the Syndicate's information broker and manipulator. Looks mysterious, often shrouded in shadows, with a hauntingly beautiful voice. Power, reality-warping poetry. The DJ, Pulse. Pulse controls the rhythm, literally. He can manipulate energy with his beats, creating force fields, unleashing sonic blasts, and even controlling movement. He's the Syndicate's muscle and crowd control. Looks big, imposing, with headphones always on, and a console that seems to hum with power. Power, sonic energy manipulation. The singer, Siren. Siren's voice is pure seduction and control. She can entrance anyone, making them do her bidding with her songs. She's the Syndicate's charmer and infiltrator. Looks glamorous, captivating, with a voice that can make anyone weak at the knees. Power, mind control through singing. The Syndicate is more than just a crew. It's an extension of Lyricannon's will, each member a different facet of her power, all bound together by the flow. Let's dive into the Sonic Syndicate's plans, see how they're looking to reshape the city. The Syndicate ain't just about making noise and looking cool, they got a whole operation brewing. It's called Project Echo Chamber, and it's all about controlling the narrative, bending the city's perception to their will. Here's the breakdown. Raze's reality remix. Raze is hitting the streets hard, but his graffiti ain't just going on walls anymore. He's targeting key locations, billboards, subway stations, even building facades. His pieces are becoming portals, see? They're overlaying reality with illusions, flashing ads that make people buy things they don't need, spreading propaganda that stirs up chaos, and even creating temporary safe havens for the Syndicate. Whisper's word warp. Whisper's taking over the airwaves. She's infiltrating radio stations, hijacking broadcasts, and slipping her poems into the city's consciousness. Her words are becoming like a virus, infecting people's thoughts, planting suggestions, and manipulating their emotions. She's got the city in a trance, see? Making them believe what she wants them to believe. Pulse's power play. Pulse is controlling the rhythm of the streets. He's set up speakers all over the city, hidden in plain sight, pumping out beats that manipulate the flow of energy. He can make crowds move how he wants, incite riots, or even drain people's willpower. He's got the city moving to his beat, and nobody even knows it. Siren's Song of Control. Siren's using her voice to infiltrate the high society, the politicians, the power brokers. She's singing at exclusive clubs, galas, and private parties, enthralling her targets and making them puppets. She's pulling the strings from the shadows, see? Making the elite dance to the Syndicate's tune. Lyricannon's the conductor, orchestrating the whole thing. She's using her amulet to amplify the Syndicate's powers, making them stronger, more effective. The plan ain't just about controlling the city, it's about reshaping it, making it a reflection of their own twist. Surge of energy from Lyricannon and the Sonic Syndicate's activities ain't going unnoticed. It's rippling through the flow, see, and that's like a beacon in the dark for some heavy hitters. First off, you got Quinn, the quantum goddess. She's all about controlling reality and this upsurge of chaotic power in New York. It's messing with her plans. She can't have some street-level crew throwing off the cosmic balance. So she's looking to get in the game, but she ain't about to just waltz in. Quinn's subtle, see? She's slithering into the shadows, looking for a way to manipulate things. Then you got the Oni energy. It's drawn to chaos like a moth to a flame, and Lyricannon's flow? It's pure, unadulterated chaos. The Oni ain't got a physical form, not really. but it can latch onto people, corrupt them, turn them into puppets. And where better to find vulnerable hosts than in the city's underbelly? And finally, there's Flux and Echo. These two are all about embracing the madness, and Lyricannon's crew, they're creating a whole new level of it. Flux and Echo see potential, see a chance to amplify their own power, to reshape reality in their own twisted image. They're looking to get close, to merge their chaos with Lyricannon's, and that could be a whole new level of trouble. Here's the twist. All three of these forces, they're playing the same game. They're infiltrating the gangs of New York, using them as pawns, as tools to get closer to Lyricannon and her crew. Quinn's moving in with the black spades. Their discipline, their control, she can twist that, use it to contain and weaponize Lyricannon's flow. The Oni's corrupting the savage skulls. Their rage, their violence, it's fuel for the Oni's fire, a way to spread the chaos even further. Flux and Echo, they're sliding in with the Ghetto Brothers. Their music, their unity, it's a mask, see? A way to get close to Lyricannon without raising suspicion, all while they plot to unleash their madness. The stage is set, see? New York's about to become a battleground, not just for the control of the streets, but for the very soul of the flow. Let's get into the Savage Skulls storyline, see how the Oni energy is twisting their game. The Savage Skulls, they were already a force to be reckoned with, right? Carving out their territory in the Bronx, known for their ruthlessness and that whole twisted Nazi imagery thing. But now, with the Oni energy slithering into their ranks, things are getting even darker. It started subtle, see? A few members getting more aggressive, more violent, their eyes burning with this dark light. Then it spread, like a disease, corrupting the whole crew. The Oni energy was amplifying their rage, their thirst for power, turning them into something monstrous. Felipe Mercado, the leader, he's trying to hold it together, but he's losing control. The Oni energy is whispering in his ear, promising him ultimate power, making him see visions of a city ruled by the skulls. He's starting to embrace the chaos, seeing it as a weapon, a way to crush anyone who stands in their path. The skulls ain't just about turf wars anymore. They're moving into new territory, pushing into Manhattan, Queens, even trying to muscle in on Brooklyn. They're leaving a trail of destruction, their violence fueled by the Oni energy, their tactics becoming more brutal and unpredictable. Their whole image is shifting too. The skull and crossbones, the Nazi symbols. It ain't just about intimidation anymore, it's becoming a mark of corruption. The Oni energy is twisting their style, making it darker, more menacing. Think black leather, spikes, and that dark light glowing from their eyes. Lyricannon and her syndicate, they're seeing this, seeing the chaos spreading. They know the skulls ain't just another gang anymore. They're a force of destruction, a threat to the whole city. And they know they gotta do something before the Oni energy consumes everything. Let's switch gears and check out what's going down with the Ghetto Brothers. Now these cats were always a different breed, right? Even in the midst of all the gang violence, they were pushing for peace, using their music to try and unite the community. But Flux and Echo, they see that unity as something to exploit, something to twist. They ain't coming in guns blazing, see? They're playing it smooth, infiltrating the Ghetto Brothers' inner circle. Echo, with her ethereal beauty and whispering voice, she's getting close to Benny Melendez, the leader. She's feeding him ideas, planting seeds of doubt, making him question his own path. Flux, he's connecting with the band, see? His raw energy and passion, it's igniting their music, making it more intense, more powerful. But it's also twisting it, adding a chaotic edge, turning their songs of peace into anthems of rebellion. The Ghetto Brothers, they're changing, but it ain't obvious at first. They're still preaching unity, but there's a new undercurrent of anger, a sense of instability. Their concerts are becoming more like rallies, their lyrics more like demands. Benny, he's starting to lose his grip. Echo's whispers are getting louder, drowning out his own voice. He's becoming more erratic, his decisions more unpredictable. The other members, they're caught between loyalty and confusion, not sure who their leader is anymore. Flux and Echo, they're playing a long game. They ain't looking to destroy the Ghetto Brothers. They're looking to corrupt them, to turn their power into a weapon. They see the potential in their music, the ability to sway hearts and minds, and they want to use that to unleash their own brand of madness on the city. Let's get into the Black Spades storyline, see how Quinn's influence is playing out. The Black Spades, they were a force to be reckoned with, holding down the Bronx, right? But Quinn, she sees potential in their discipline, their organization. She ain't looking to corrupt them like the Oni. She's looking to control them, to use them as her own personal army. She starts subtle, see? Appearing to their leaders in visions, promising them greater power, a chance to expand their influence beyond the Bronx. She's feeding into their ambition, their desire for control, but she's twisting it, making them see themselves as instruments of order, not just kings of the streets. The Spades, they start changing. Their focus shifts from turf wars to a citywide power grab. They're moving in on other gangs' territory, but they're doing it with a new level of precision, a cold efficiency that wasn't there before. Their style is changing too. That denim and leather look, it's getting sleeker, more uniform, with a symbol of Quinn's design incorporating into their colors. It's like they're becoming soldiers, not just gang members. Africa Bambaataa, he's a key player in this. Quinn sees his potential, his ability to organize and inspire. She's whispering in his ear, making him her chosen general, her right-hand man. But Bambaataa, he's got his own vision, see? He's using Quinn's power to build something new, something bigger than the Spades. This is where it gets complicated. You got Quinn trying to control the Spades. You got Bambaataa using Quinn's power for his own ends. And you got the rest of the Spades caught in the middle, following orders, not fully understanding the forces at play. The Black Spades ain't just a gang anymore. They're a weapon, a force of order and control, and they're about to reshape New York City in a whole new way. It's about to go down. The tensions that have been building in the city are reaching ahead, and New York is about to erupt in a four-way war for the soul of the flow. Lyricannon and the Sonic Syndicate. They're holding strong, controlling key parts of the city with their reality-warping art and mind-bending music. But they're stretched thin, defending their turf against all sides. Lyricannon's getting more ruthless, her power growing with the conflict. But even she can feel the chaos threatening to overwhelm her. The Savage Skulls, fueled by the Oni energy, they're a force of pure destruction, tearing through the streets, leaving chaos in their wake. Felipe Mercado is completely consumed by the Oni's whispers, seeing himself as a god of destruction, his crew, his unstoppable army. They ain't got a plan, just a hunger for violence and power. The Black Spades, under Quinn's influence and Bambaataa's leadership, they're moving with cold precision, trying to impose order on the chaos. They're targeting key locations, taking control of infrastructure, and recruiting new members with promises of power and control. They see themselves as saviors, bringing stability to a city on the brink, but their methods are ruthless, their ambition unchecked. The Ghetto Brothers, torn apart by Flux and Echo's manipulation, they're fractured and unstable. Benny Melendez is a shadow of his former self, his vision clouded by Echo's whispers. The band's music is a chaotic mix of rebellion and despair, inciting violence and confusion. Flux and Echo are using them as a Trojan horse, spreading their madness while staying hidden in the chaos. The whole city's a battleground. You got turf wars between the Skulls and the Spades, guerrilla attacks by the Syndicate, and the Ghetto Brothers' music driving crowds into frenzied riots. The flow is going wild, reality's becoming unstable, and it feels like the whole damn city's about to tear itself apart. Let's turn up the heat on this four-way war. See where the chaos leads. 8. This is where the Ghetto Brothers storyline takes a hard left turn. Flux and Echo, they've been playing the long game, right? Slowly corrupting the brothers, twisting their music. But now, with the city in full-blown chaos, let's turn up the heat on this four-way war. See where the chaos leads. The city's on fire, literally and figuratively. Blocks are up in flames, not just from Molotovs and burning buildings, but from the raw energy of the flow going wild. Lyricannon is pushing her crew to the limit, trying to control the damage, but her power's getting harder to contain. She's transforming more fully into Lyricannon, the sonic force, her voice booming across the city like a goddamn siren, trying to impose order, but it's only adding fuel to the fire. The savage skulls, they're in their element, see? The Oni energy's got them in a frenzy, tearing through everything. No strategy, just pure destruction. Mercado's laughing like a maniac, thinking he's unstoppable. But the Oni's got its own plans, and it ain't about loyalty. The Black Spades, they're moving like a well-oiled machine, taking territory, controlling resources. But Quinn's got them on a tight leash. Bambata's starting to chafe under her control, seeing the potential to break free, to use this chaos to build his own empire, something bigger than anyone imagined. And the Ghetto Brothers, they're the wild card, see? Flux and Echo have completely corrupted them, turning their music into a weapon of mass manipulation. Benny's a puppet. Echo's whispering through him, and Flux is amping up the chaos, feeding off the city's madness. It ain't just a gang war anymore, it's a battle for reality itself. The flow is breaking down, reality is warping, and New York City is about to become something else entirely. 8. This is where the Ghetto Brothers storyline takes a hard left turn. Flux and Echo, they've been playing the long game, right? Slowly corrupting the brothers, twisting their music, but now, with the city in full-blown chaos, they're ready to make their move. See, they don't just want to control the Ghetto Brothers, they want to become them. They start pushing for a ritual, a fusion they call it, where they'll merge their consciousness with the band members, amplifying their power to insane levels. Benny, he's too far gone to resist. Echo's got him completely under her spell, making him see this fusion as the only way to achieve true unity, true power. The other brothers, they're hesitant, but Flux's energy is infectious. His promises of godhood too tempting to ignore. The ritual's wild, see? Music, energy, and madness all blending together. Flux and Echo start shining, their forms becoming less defined, while the brothers' eyes glow with a fractured light. It's like something new is being born, something powerful and dangerous. But here's the twist. It ain't going exactly how Flux and Echo planned. The brothers, they ain't just passive vessels. They got their own spirits, their own flow. And it ain't easy to erase that. As the fusion reaches its peak, something unexpected happens. The brothers start fighting back, their music clashing with Flux and Echo's chaos. It's a battle of wills, a war for control of their own souls. And then it explodes. Not in a destructive way, but in a burst of pure, raw energy. Flux and Echo are ripped apart, their forms scattered, while the brothers are left standing, changed, empowered, but free. They ain't the Ghetto Brothers anymore, not really. There's something new, something forged in the fire of madness. They got Flux and Echo's power, but they also got their own souls back, their own music. They're a wild card now, see? A force that could tip the scales in this war. But nobody knows which way they'll go. He's tearing itself apart, and right in the middle of it all, Quinn decides to make her move. She ain't about to let this chaos spiral out of her control. She hits hard and fast, see? A quantum blitzkrieg, targeting all the key players at once. Lyricannon. Quinn hits her with a wave of fractured realities, trying to overload her senses to shatter her control over the flow. It's a mental assault, making Lyricannon doubt what's real, making her question her own power. The Savage Skull's Quinn doesn't fight them head-on. Instead, she manipulates the Oni energy, turning it against them. The skulls start turning on each other, their rage amplified to the point of self-destruction. Mercado's reign of chaos becomes a massacre. The Black Spade's Quinn goes after Bambata, seeing him as the biggest threat to her control. She tries to trap him in a quantum loop, a never-ending cycle of cause and effect. But Bambata's got his own plans, his own defenses. He's ready for her. The Ghetto Brothers' Quinn sees them as the most unpredictable element, their newfound power a wild card. She tries to isolate them, to sever their connection to the flow, but their music becomes her weapon. It warps her quantum attacks, turning them back on her. Quinn ain't just attacking bodies, she's attacking minds, realities, the very fabric of the flow. It's a high-stakes gamble, see? If she wins, she reshapes New York in her own image. But if she loses, the city might just unravel completely. She's on the edge, see? Reality's fraying, and the flow is wilding out. Lyricannon's holding on by a thread, her voice cracking with the strain, her illusions bleeding into reality. But she ain't going down without a fight. She's gathering her syndicate, ready to unleash a final sonic assault, a desperate bid to reclaim control. The savage skulls have become something monstrous, the Oni energy consuming them completely. Mercado's a puppet, his crew a horde of violence, and they're tearing the city apart for the sheer hell of it. But the Oni's got a weakness, a rhythm they can't control, and it's about to be exploited. Bambata's moving in the shadows, see? He's played Quinn, used her power to build his own force, and now he's ready to break free. He's got a vision of a new world order, a city ruled by the flow, and he ain't afraid to step on anyone to get it. And the Ghetto Brothers? They're the wild card. Their music, a chaotic symphony of rebellion and despair. They're hunting Quinn, see? They sense her control, her manipulation of the flow, and they're ready to tear her down, even if it means destroying themselves in the process. It's a free-for-all, a battle royale for the fate of New York. The flow is the prize, reality's the battleground, and nobody's playing by the rules. He's on the brink, right? But in the heart of the chaos, something unexpected is brewing. Lyricannon, she's battered, her syndicate has fallen apart, but she ain't given up. She's looking for an edge, something to turn the tide. And that's when the Ghetto Brothers approach her. These ain't the same cat she knew before, see? Flex and Echo twisted them, broke them, but they also forged them into something new. They got power now, raw, untamed power, and they see Lyricannon, not as an enemy, but as a potential ally. They come to her with a proposition, a truce, an alliance. They want to combine their flows, their music, and her sonic force to create a wave of energy that can wash away the chaos, reshape the city in their own image. Lyricannon, she's hesitant at first. She ain't one for teaming up, and she definitely ain't trusting anyone after all the backstabbing and betrayal. But she sees the potential, see the raw power in their offer. And the Ghetto Brothers, they ain't just talking power. They're talking about the city, about the people. They remember their roots, see? They remember the struggle, the pain, and they see a chance to make things right, even if it means using a little chaos to do it. So they make a deal, a shaky alliance, forged in the fires of war. Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers, two forces of the flow, ready to unleash a new sound on New York. The alliance between Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers, it ain't just a truce, it's a whole new sound. A fusion of flows that's about to shake the city to its core. They hit the streets together, see? Lyricannon's sonic force and the brothers' chaotic music blending into something unstoppable. It's a wave of energy that washes over the city, warping reality, bending minds, but also healing. Raze's graffiti becomes three-dimensional, moving and shifting with the rhythm, creating pockets of altered reality where people can escape the chaos. Whisper's words become spells of unity, spreading through the airwaves, making people see past their differences. Pulse's beats become a force of creation, building up new structures, restoring what was destroyed. And Siren's songs become anthems of hope, inspiring people to fight for a better future. They ain't just fighting the other factions, they're reshaping the city itself, layering their reality over the old one. It's a dangerous game, see? But it's also the only way to break the cycle of violence and chaos. The other factions, they ain't ready for this. The Savage Skulls, consumed by the Oni energy, can't comprehend the unity in the music, the power of creation. They just lash out, destroying everything in their path, but their chaos is being countered by a new kind of order. The Black Spades, under Bambata's control, try to adapt, to control this new flow, but it's too wild, too unpredictable. Their rigid structure can't contain the energy Lyricannon and the brothers are unleashing. And Quinn? She's losing her grip, see? Her quantum calculations can't predict this fusion, this blend of chaos and creation. She's losing control of the city, and that ain't something she's used to. New York is changing, being remixed by the power of the flow, and Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers are the DJs, spinning a new reality. It's the beginning of the end, the two-part finale that'll decide the fate of New York. Part 1, Banishing the Oni. The Oni energy, it's the biggest threat now, see? It's turned the Savage Skulls into nothing but puppets, spreading chaos for the sake of chaos. Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers, they know they gotta deal with this first, before they can even think about Quinn. They change their tactics, see? Instead of fighting fire with fire, they start using rhythm and sound to disrupt the Oni's hold. Pulse lays down a beat that vibrates at a frequency that the Oni can't stand, making the skulls twitch and convulse. Whisper's words become a counterspell, breaking the Oni's control over their minds. And Lyricannon, she unleashes a sonic wave that pushes the Oni energy out of the skulls, leaving them dazed and confused, but free. It's a risky move, see? It leaves them vulnerable to Quinn and Bambata, but they know they gotta take the chance. They manage to break the Oni's hold, but the skulls are scattered, their power broken. The streets are a mess, but there's a glimmer of hope, but the victory is short-lived, 'cause Quinn ain't about to let them celebrate. She sees her chance, and she strikes. Here's the finale in that amped-up, action-packed style. Finale, Part 1, Sound and Fury versus Quantum Chaos. The screen explodes with energy as Quinn unleashes her quantum blitz. Lyricannon and her crew are blasted back, reality itself tearing at the edges. But Pulse drops a beat, a raw, primal rhythm that shakes the quantum waves. Raze's graffiti erupts from the walls, forming shields of pure color, deflecting Quinn's attacks. Whisper's voice weaves through the chaos, her words countering Quinn's reality warping, bringing moments of clarity to the madness. Lyricannon, her eyes blazing, unleashes a sonic scream, a concentrated blast of pure sound aimed right at Quinn. It collides with Quinn's quantum energy, creating a shockwave that shatters windows and sends debris flying. Meanwhile, the remnants of the savage skulls, now just rage-filled puppets of the Oni, charge the heroes. But the Ghetto Brothers step up, their music changing on the fly, becoming a whirlwind of rhythm and melody that disrupts the Oni's control. The skulls stumble, their dark glow fading, leaving them vulnerable. Bambata and his black spades, they ain't joining the fight, not yet. They're watching, calculating, waiting for their moment to seize control while the others tear each other apart. The battle rages, a clash of sound and fury against quantum chaos. New York is on the line, its fate hanging. The grand finale, Part 2. This is where it all comes crashing down. Quinn, she ain't happy about losing control. She amps up her quantum chaos, reality itself starting to glitch and fragment. But Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers, they hit back with their new sound. A wave of energy that's both destructive and creative. Raze Graffiti becomes a battlefield. Illusions and reality clashing in every street corner. Whisper's words are weapons now, directing people's actions, and Pulse's music is a force of nature, tearing down Quinn's control. Lyricannon, she faces Quinn directly, a sonic duel of cosmic proportions. Their voices clash, their flows colliding, threatening to tear the city apart. But the Ghetto Brothers, they back her up, their music giving her strength, focusing her power. Bambata, he sees his chance. He ain't picking a side, he's plotting to take it all. He unleashes his own flow, a force of order and control, trying to seize the power from both Quinn and Lyricannon. It's a three-way showdown, a battle for the soul of New York. But in the end, it ain't about power or control. It's about the city itself, the raw energy, the rhythm of the streets. Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers, they tap into that, see? They let the city's flow guide them, and they unleash a final wave of sound and energy that washes over everything. It ain't a victory, not really. It's a reset. The chaos fades, Quinn is pushed back, and Bambata's control is broken. New York is changed, scarred but alive, ready for a new beginning. And Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers? They're the new guardians of the flow, the ones who'll shape the city settles, but New York ain't the same. It's scarred, remixed, but alive with a new kind of energy. Lyricannon and the Ghetto Brothers, they stand as the new guardians of the flow, but they ain't rulers, see? They're more like conductors, shaping the city's rhythm, but letting it breathe. Raze's art is everywhere, not just on walls, but in the streets, in the parks, creating zones of altered reality where people can escape the harshness of the world. Whisper's words are broadcast across the city, spreading messages of unity and resilience. but also warning against the dangers of unchecked power. Pulse's music is the heartbeat of the new New York, pumping through the rebuilt infrastructure, connecting people, and driving the city forward. And Siren? She's working in the shadows, using her influence to protect the vulnerable, to ensure that the new flow serves the people, not the powerful. The other factions? They're changed too. The Savage Skulls are broken, their power shattered, but some of them are trying to rebuild, to find a new path, free from the Oni's influence. Bambata and his Black Spades, they're still out there, scheming, plotting, but they know they can't control the flow like they thought. They gotta adapt, or fade away. And Quinn? She's gone, for now, pushed back into the quantum realm, but her influence lingers. A reminder that the fight for control is never truly over. New York is a city reborn, shaped by chaos and music, art and power. It's a dangerous place, still, but it's also a place of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unstoppable force of the flow. Let the credits roll on this Saga of the Flow. Saga of the Flow, New York Rhythm, starring Lyricannon, the Queen of Flow, voiced by a voice that echoes through the city. Raze, the Graph Master, his art by a kaleidoscope of colors. Whisper, the poet, her words by a haunting melody. Pulse, the DJ, his beats by the heartbeat of the streets. Siren, the singer, her voice by a seductive whisper. Felipe Mercado, the Savage Skull, consumed by Oni, portrayed by a roar of chaos. Africa Bambata, the Black Spade, the strategist, his vision by a force of order. Echo, the manipulator, her whispers by a fractured symphony. Flux, the embodiment of chaos, his energy by a primal scream. Quinn, the quantum goddess, her will by a wave of fractured reality, featuring the Sonic Syndicate, the creators of the new sound, the Savage Skulls, the puppets of destruction, the Black Spades, the seekers of control, the Ghetto Brothers, the survivors of madness. Music by the rhythm of the streets, the pulse of the underground, the symphony of chaos, the harmony of the new flow, art direction, the ever-changing canvas of New York City, special effects, reality warping, sonic booms, quantum chaos, written by the flow itself, directed by the forces of change, produced by the city that never sleeps, a Saga of the Flow production. See Forever in the Flow. End scene. The camera pans across a transformed New York City, a blend of chaos and creation, beauty and danger,